If you're a founder of a service business or a coach, then you've probably been through the struggle of filming content of yourself speaking in order to market your business. And because you've gone through that, you have likely been through the experience of stuttering through all your words, not knowing exactly what to say, feeling extremely nervous or not wanting to sound like you're reading off of a script. And the overall discomfort that you experience while being on camera just overall affects the quality of your brand image. So in this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you some very simple tips on how you can elevate the quality of your talking head videos, appear a lot more confident, and build more trust into your brand so that you can sell more of your products and services. So the first tool that I'm going to be sharing, and this one might be pretty obvious to some people, but it's not always going to be obvious to everybody, is using a teleprompter. And what a teleprompter is it's this big like case that you essentially put around the camera, and then you typically put something like an iPad underneath it. And then what it does is there's a mirror image on the actual teleprompter that reflects the words back to you, so that when you are actually reading off of the teleprompter, you're actually looking into the camera just like this. I'm not actually using a teleprompter, but essentially this is exactly how it would appear when you're actually filming the video, and you would be reading the script, and then you would prepare that script obviously before you start recording. And then when I'm working with clients on creating scripts and working with them on filming talking head videos for their business, one of the most common things that they'll tell me is, I don't want to sound like I'm reading it. And essentially how you overcome that is through two things. One, when you're scripting the video, you want to make sure that you're scripting it in a way where you would actually be speaking. A common mistake that I see a lot of businesses making when they're creating their scripts is they typically they typically write it very academically. They write it very grammatically correct. They use like proper periods and commas and punctuations and all that. And there's nothing wrong with writing it in that way. But when it comes to actually speaking, it's like nobody actually speaks in a very proper sort of sentence structure, especially when it's written. Everyone just talks the way that everyone talks in their own natural way, and it typically never follows a actual structure. So depending on the person that you are writing for, whether it's for yourself, or maybe if you're the marketing person writing for the founder, or maybe you're writing for talent, you want to make sure that you write in a way that can easily be spoken. And then how you can actually tell if the script is written in that way is, after writing out the script, just read it out loud. Like read it out loud, and then you will see for yourself that when you're reading, you're going to find yourself getting tripped up in certain areas, or maybe there's certain words that just when they're together and you say them while on camera, it just sort of blends together and doesn't necessarily sound clear. Like, for example, it's going to sound very Sally sells seashells by the seashore kind of thing. And it's very easy to actually get tongue-tied while writing it. So in that case, when you're writing the script or after you write the script and then you read it out, you want to make sure you read it out so that you can catch those areas where your tongue can easily get kind of tied, and then just figure out a way of actually rewording it. The next thing that I want to share to help not come across as reading the script is, from my own personal experience, I've noticed that there are some people that are just very unnatural with reading a script in general. And I found that no matter what I actually do, or no matter how it's written, or no matter how many times I have them practice, there's just going to be some people that struggle with the actual script and making it sound natural. And that may be you. There was one experience that I had where I was filming a brand video for a client, and the whole purpose of this video was that they were going to be showing it at a trade show. So they're going to be taking their business, setting up a booth at this trade show, and they're going to be playing a video at their booth, so that whoever walks by, they just stand out a lot more. So of course, especially in that setting, you want to make sure that everybody comes across as confidently as possible while on camera. And then in this video, there was one person in particular where they were just not confident at all. They were reading the actual script, and they were just sounding like, "Who at this company we do this, and like," even though like he was able to read it, he was still stuttering through everything. He was still mispronouncing words, and it was just ruining the overall quality of the video, and he just did not appear confident at all. And at that time, I was just thinking to myself, man, what do I actually do? Because it would be a kind of a sucky situation to have to film this video, put it all together with that footage and with him speak. Not that I would actually use it, but just the fact that he's going to be excluded from the video, like that's not going to be something that that person necessarily feels good about when the actual video is finished, because he was one of the higher decision makers in the company. So it was important that he actually showed up in the video. So what I ended up doing is I asked him some questions after he read through the script, and basically like interview style. And as I asked him those questions, he instantly went from not confident, just stuttering through every word, to crystal clear, knew exactly what he was going to say, and extremely confident. And he just had this warm, welcoming feeling when you actually listen to him on camera. So that's when I started to learn, like, oh, I need to ditch this script and I need to just ask him questions. So I ended up asking, based off of the script, just as quickly as I could, I tried to come up with questions that basically would lead to answers that were essentially in the script. So I would ask him those questions and then he would answer them. He would answer them very confidently. And then I went through the script and I was like, question, 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 question. And then the answers that he ended up giving me were as close as I can possibly get it, as similar as I can get it to the actual script. So the point of this story that I'm trying to share with you is that if you struggle with actually reading a script, then just ask yourself questions. Like have some questions set aside instead of an actual script, and then you read it, and then you essentially just answer them. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. Actually, this is a video that I very last minute was just like, hey, I want to try this. I want to try this new style, and I want to see if this actually works for me. So I have questions that are just written on the side. It says, who is this video for? What's the best tool? I talk about the teleprompter. What if it sounds like I'm reading? How do I appear more confident? And so on. I don't want to spoil the video too much, but as I read the questions, I'm just giving myself an actual structure, and I'm focusing on answering the question and then just following that structure so that this ends up being the video. So that ends up working for some people, especially if they're not able to really like read the script very confidently. So the whole takeaway from this is there's going to be some of you who are good at reading scripts and can appear as confident, and you can appear very confident while you're reading. If this isn't you, then I would say even just having bullet points or questions that you answer and then structure the questions in an order that would basically align with the script. And that's going to sound very natural and raw, while the scripted version is going to be a little bit more rigid, but you make sure that you don't miss any important points that you want to include in the video. That would probably be the con of this side, is when people are naturally answering things, they're just kind of answering it as naturally as they can. They may miss things like in the process of sharing that. So the next idea that I wanted to share with you to appear more confident on camera is how much you actually prepare for the actual video. So obviously when you are filming a video, you need to have a script. So you prepare for it in that way. And I just went over with you how you would prepare for it in a script form or how to prepare for it in a question form. The next thing you want to do is actually prep your body for it. How many of you have had the experience of where you film a video and you just feel exhausted, you just feel drained by the whole process, and you just end up needing just to take the rest of the day off or something? That's definitely me, like every time. That's something that I'm even personally trying to work on. And there are a few exercises that I've personally been learning that can really help you with combating that. The primary one that I'm going to be sharing with you is actually warming up your voice. So one of the reasons why you feel fatigued is because most people, they are just going to they're just going to sit down, turn on the camera, start recording. But what I've been personally learning that helps me get through this and helps me appear even more confident on camera is warming up my voice. And there's a few exercises that I'll personally go through in order to do that. And the first exercise is the Wolf of Wall Street. And basically all you're really doing is hitting your chest. I usually have you could either do a cup in your hand like this, or you can even do a fist. I've kind of learned that using with an open like a cup hand is a little bit better. I don't necessarily know why. That's some science stuff that I don't really understand, but essentially what you're doing is this, and then you go mm, 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 what you're doing with this is you are warming up your vocal cords. So when you warm up your vocal cords, then you are basically kind of like when you stretch before a workout. You're gonna feel a lot looser, and you lower your likelihood of injury. So when you warm up your voice, you're actually helping your voice sound more clear. You're helping with making it a little bit more easy to project. And then overall, like when you do these exercises, you feel more confident on camera. So when you feel more confident, you're going to actually appear more confident in the actual video. So I usually warm up doing both sides. So that's one of the ones that I'll do. And then the next one that I'll actually do is go, 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 go. And then what that does is when you're doing the go, you're basically just you're warming up the range of your throat. So when I'm actually doing this, go, 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 I'm hitting lower notes, I'm hitting higher notes as I'm doing that. And then I'm basically just trying to make a little song out of it where I actually go low and high. So go, 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 go. So you're gonna feel a little bit of strain on your actual throat when you do this, but so obviously don't overdo it. But when you are actually doing this, it's just warming up your throat. So that's going to help with the overall clarity of your voice. So I will typically do that. And then the last one that I actually learned today is that I'll incorporate, like, I forgot what that's called, but basically you would do this with your lips. And then you would do it for even just up to a minute or so. So you would go, and you would want it to add a little bit of a note into it while you're doing it. So So when you do that, you're just loosening up your mouth, you're loosening up your face a little bit, and then the that I'm adding into it, that's helping my vocal cords warm up as well. And then another thing you can do that is really helpful is turn it into a song. So, or just humming a song with it. So I'll go. So choose a song where you can kind of fluctuate in low tones and high tones. And even just right now, my voice feels a little bit more clear. And then because it feels more clear, I just come across with more clarity. And then if you can guess what the song is down below in the comments, you don't really get anything out of it, but I can thumbs it up and then you can feel good about yourself. And then lastly, like, you want to make sure you stay hydrated, because another thing that is very common is when you're recording these videos and you're talking for a long time, it's very easy for your throat to feel dry. And then when your throat is feeling dry, your voice is just not going to be as clear, and it's just going to add some extra fatigue, and it's going to be a little bit more effort to actually speak. So just making sure that you have like a lot of water nearby. Sometimes I'll put it in like a liquid IV or something. You don't necessarily have to do that, but just something that helps you like stay hydrated. So it's almost empty. When you combine all those things together, preparing the script in the format that works best for you, you do vocal warm-ups in order to just feel confident and be confident, then it ultimately leads to you coming across as more confident, you come across as more clear, And when your message comes across a lot more clear in your videos, then your conversion rates are going to be a lot higher. People are going to trust you a lot more. People are going to trust in your message. And ultimately, it's going to lift your brand. It's going to elevate your brand image. And if creating marketing content for your business is something that you need extra help in, my business, Takai Media, is a video production and marketing company hybrid that specializes in talking head videos for service business owners and coaches. And we help you with scripting and creating the content and distributing it on YouTube and ads to help you with generating higher quality leads so that your sales team spends more time closing than handling objections. So if you're interested in that, you can click on the link in the description below to check it out and apply to work with me. And if you're not interested in that at this time, then that's totally fine too. I would suggest if you want to see more content just like this, then I would suggest watching this video right here, where I break down how to use AI to create better messaging in your video content.